What's up, guys? Luke here with Luke's Points and Miles. If you could please, could someone comment below that you can hear me loud and clear? You guys that do watch this channel, you know that the technical aspects of the YouTube game are not my strong suit. But today, we do have a lot of credit card news from the week. Kind of amazing how much stuff. Matt Welter's in the house. Thank you. He says you guys can hear. Xavier, Big League Xavier. Sorry, guys. Guys, there's a ton of really cool stuff that we can talk about tonight with the credit card world. And we're going to get to all that. I do have kind of an order for these things now. Yeah, Stan. Listen, Stan, not only did I press the live button, but I also pressed the monetization button as well, which is something I haven't done in my last two lives. Finally figuring this stuff out. Just trying to get, what do they say, Stan? 1% better every time. So maybe we'll end up being marginal at my peak. So I do have like a somewhat of a schedule for this one. And the first thing I definitely, Frugal Dad Finance is saying hi from New Jersey. What's up, Frugal Dad? I am also, I don't know if anybody would call me frugal, but I'm a dad. ATB's in the house. Guys, welcome tonight. You know, the cliche is you could be anywhere, but you've chose to be here with us. So let's have a good time. Seabass says good evening, all. I think we've got some good stuff tonight. And the first thing I want to get to is I want to get straight into it. And I want to answer some of these questions that I had in the community post. The community post has a lot less questions, so I want to make sure those are still getting answered and all that good stuff. So let's get to some of these questions because I think some of them are actually pretty good. The first question we have is from Ryan, and it's Ryan 31310. What's your favorite way to book experiences and tours? He lists Viator or the Chase portal. I know Chad's Money Minutes likes to use the Chase portal, but I almost exclusively use Viator through Rakuten or through the American Airlines shopping portal. And the reason why I do it, I don't think it's a better deal. I really don't, but there's a couple different reasons why it works for me. What's up, Platinum OG? Haven't seen you in a while. Matt Welter loves Airbnb experiences. Okay, I've never even seen those, so I'll have to look into that. Here's a couple of reasons why I like using Viator through a shopping portal. Obviously, sometimes you can get 10, 15% back through the shopping portal. And with Rakuten or American Airlines, that means you can get 15 MR points per dollar spent doing it that way. Or 10, 11, 12 American Airlines points doing it that way. But there's also a couple more reasons why I like it. One is the super liberal cancellation policy. I can book something a year from now and I can book it like 2 days before or maybe 24 hours before. That's awesome in a couple of different ways. One way I think it's really awesome is if I'm working on a minimum spend and I have 7 trips already lined up for the next year, I know I'm going to use Viator to book certain experiences and certain tours. So I can go ahead and book those and get charged now. I know a lot of people like to put the get charged later, but it gives me a chance to hit that minimum spend. It makes it a lot easier for something that I'm definitely going to spend on anyway. And also, I like doing that because uh, maybe a psychological effect. It's already paid for. So when I go to Morocco in January, I don't really have to worry about booking the food tour or whatever and then paying for it. I paid for it 3 months ago, something like that. I know it might be just a psychological thing. It makes me feel better, but paying for it well in advance kind of keeps a little bit of extra stress off. So that's how I book mine. I know Chad does the Chase portal. Matt Welter likes the Airbnbs. I've never stayed at an Airbnb. It is something that I've thought about looking at really soon. And I think it's the further I go from maybe hotel loyalty, the closer I get to trying out some Airbnbs and maybe some unique Airbnbs and some cool stuff. The Platinum OG celebrating after a long trip, 6 flights for him in the player 2, 8 hotel rooms, 5-night Virgin Voyage cruises, all on points. Platinum OG is platinum for sure. I'll be really interested in hearing about that Virgin cruise too. Is it a Diddy party, or is it a little bit more calm down? I heard they get pretty wild on there. I'm a little bit old for Diddy parties. David Aguilar is a big leader in the building. Sean D, what's going on? Thanks, Luke, again for your recommendation. I went and turned the Pro Football Hall. Okay, toward the Pro Football Hall of Fame this week. Yeah, that place is they play the Hall of Fame football game there every year, and it's the first preseason game of the NFL. And I had a buddy who it's a high school field, so tickets are hard to get, but he had season tickets, and a couple times I got to go with him. Very cool experience. Very, very cool place. And yeah, that Hall of Fame it's tough to get in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So yeah, it's a cool place. What else we got here? Matt Welder says they have a separate portal on Airbnb for experiences. Some pretty cool stuff. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Javier says, did you try to use LifeMiles? I just got the card, but the customer service and the rewards from Silver status are hard to make it work. I don't feel like it's a good place to save miles. Okay, Javier, I'm going to go over the LifeMiles Plus membership in a video really soon. I do have the LifeMiles card. I'm a basic member of the LifeMiles Plus, and I think I've since just in the last couple months I've redeemed 400,000 or 500,000 LifeMiles, and I still have a couple 100,000. And man, I think if you can focus on LifeMiles for your redemptions, you can kill it for a short period of time. I don't know if it's a great long-term play, but the customer service, let me I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but the biggest knock on LifeMiles, and that's Avianca for you guys that don't know, the biggest knock is they say the customer service isn't good, and there's a pretty hefty $150 or $199 cancellation fee for award bookings. And yeah, that's pretty terrible. The CEO has come out and said that they are working diligently on their customer service. And from what I understand, it's getting better. My experience was not bad. It took me about 15 minutes to cancel a flight, and it was not the simplest thing in the world. I had to cancel a couple different flights with 3 tickets each. And if you are a basic member of their subscription service or whatever it is, LifeMiles Plus, you don't get those cancellation fees. So I was able to cancel those with no fees, no problem. So I'll get more into the Avianca LifeMiles in a video pretty soon, because I think they're one of those deals where in the past they had some issues, and that reputation is kind of following them. Let me see here. We got another question. Okay, this is one that we're not going to be able to answer all the way, but Rowdy Rod wants to know whether I'm leaning towards keeping it or canceling the CSR. Now, I got the CSR, I think, in March or April, and I have been overseas with it, and I have used it as my main card to purchase travel. And I can tell you that March, September, so 6 months, I can't give you a definitive answer right now. That card is that kind of bordering. It's so difficult. In a vacuum, it's fine. If there was the only card like it, with the new DoorDash credits, I can order stuff like cases of water and stuff like that from DoorDash. I can order from the dollar store. They'll deliver it. I don't know if I consider that full value, but just that, ordering water that I'm definitely going to drink anyway, or sports drinks or something like that, it gets me up close to $500 in value. So for the $550 annual fee, it gets really close there. And then, of course, you have the legendary travel protections, and you have all sorts of great stuff with the CSR. So my problem is, can I do better if I focus on a platinum card or a Venture X? So I would probably say it's about 51%, 49%, and I won't tell you which way. And the plan, if I did get rid of it, would be to turn it into an OG Freedom. I still have the business preferred, so I can still transfer to Hyatt. Hyatt. I can still get the 1.25 in the portal. So it would be, I can live without the CSR, but we still have some stuff to go over with it. Um, the older I get, the more value I place on those protections and those insurances, because we do travel quite a bit, and we travel in a way. This is the big thing. If you're going to grandma's house in Minnesota twice a year, not that big of a deal for the travel protections and the insurances. But if you're flying one ways to Europe, through Europe and back, those protections can come in handy. And it can, I'm just, my whole thing is, it was Charlie Munger, the late Charlie Munger, said an ounce of prevention is not worth a pound of cure. It's worth a ton of cure. So if I can pay a few bucks up front for the CSR, get close to that value, and be covered if something weird happens, I would be that would be well worth it. And I think the card is well worth it. I think a lot of people talk trash on it. I think the trash talk is valid, sure, but I think it won't take long for that card to really earn its bones, make its bones, they say. Julius, good evening, Luke. I hope you apply for the brilliant for the welcome bonus and show us the next level Marriott booking. I don't think it's going to happen, man. You can use a $25 credit to buy a sandwich as trade for your Chase 24 status. Yeah, Chase 24 status. I'm not. I don't worry about it a whole lot. I try to get under 524, but I haven't been under 524 in years. So, and it also hasn't uh, being over 524 has not. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, but being over 524 has not prevented me from getting chase cards. I have more chase cards than I have anything else, and I've gotten almost all of them over 524. Now that's not something you can count on, but David Ruiz, 6 a.m. in Bangkok, just checking in to say hi. Man, Bangkok, that's so cool, David. Good for you. Glad you're getting out there and killing it in the game. Fat Stacks Academy's in the house. Rodrigo Mendez, are you transferring any Amex points to Hawaiian to get Alaskan? I'm thinking about it, man. I have. Um, I opened the Alaska business card this year and got the bonus, and I had a really good redemption to Lima, Peru, and I canceled it. But so now I have like 90,000 Alaskan miles. But just doing that, I saw the power and the value in Alaskan miles. And I have to say, man, if that becomes an opportunity that long term to where I can transfer MR points to Hawaiian to get Alaska miles, that's going to be a big play for me, I think. And I don't live anywhere near the West Coast or any Alaskan hubs. We have one Alaskan Airlines flight in Columbus, and that's to Seattle. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to right now, but long term, I think that's always going to be a good option. I love Alaskan for American Airlines mile or airlines flights. Okay, got some more. Hey Luke, where would you classify the Amex Gold Card? I've been thinking about this. Can't place it. It's sure not a travel card, but what? See, here's the thing, man. I hate to sound I hate to sound like a Gen Z or something, but I'm not super interested in labels for anything, much less credit cards. The gold card is for a lot of people the highest earning card you can possess. It's a monster as far as earnings. We all eat food. Some of us a lot more than others. If you grocery shop at conventional grocery stores, groceries are insane expensive. So if you, I even say, I don't even think you have to make use of the credits. If you can stand the credits, you will earn tons of MR points on the gold card. Is it a travel card? No, it has no. It's a to me, it's what the maybe the Freedom Flex is to the Sapphire Preferred. It's a support card for you to go travel, absolutely. And if you don't have a dedicated travel card, you can do fine with the gold card, but you're not going to get a ton of really cool travel benefits. So I wouldn't call it a travel card, but I would call it a. I hate to use the word workhorse because that's so played that it's kind of corny, but it's a card that if you have, it should look really worn out. Put it that way. Javier says, sorry, what credit card you'd like to use, Amex or Chase, talking about the travel protections? The Chase Sapphire Reserve is what I like to use right now. And I'm, I struggle with Chase because I'm not a Chase fanboy, and I struggle with the fact that I don't think I can earn the most points with Chase cards, but they do have a synergistic effect with each other and within my setup. So, man, I do struggle with Chase. Michael Pythium, longtime friend of the channel. Hey, Luke, could you possibly see an altitude reserve in your future? Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, and me and Stan have talked about this a few times. I think the altitude reserve is one of the most overrated cards right now. I I would definitely get it because I have a YouTube channel, and I would definitely get it for the bonus and to experience what it has to offer. And I'm definitely cashback friendly. So maybe we'll see. It's so far down on the list that I'm not worried about it. We got Dong Kim in the house. Big Dong Kim, with the best name in the credit card game. What's up, Dong? John R. Good evening, brother. Hope you and the family's doing great, man. We're getting by. We're doing all right. Thank you, sir. Traveling with LV. Nice meeting you again, sir. What's up? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Fat Stacks Academy says the gold card has that dog in it. That's a quote from Jake Muircure. Which, guys, if you haven't checked out Jake Muircure's channel, it is different, but it is absolutely entertaining. And meeting him in person, he is a super cool young man. Like that dude. What's up, Dayro Salazar Gonzalez? Julia says Chase denied the business card due to internal limitations of 524 per the rep. Yeah, they deny for 524, and sometimes they don't. I am a human has a really interesting question. Hey, Luke, what are your general thoughts on Wells? And I don't want to get down a rabbit hole on this because a lot of folks are sensitive about Wells. But if you ever watch my channel, when Wells comes up, I am fairly consistent with I'm not interested in hearing all the Wells Fargo hate because of the things they've done. Because when I Google what is the latest blank scandal and I put a bank's name in it, I don't ever want for results. There are, and if you go down in history and you look at the things that, and see, this is why I don't want to get into it. Banks in general are not who you look up to for moral and ethical behavior. They're not even a little bit. Every single one of them will have just horrible things that they have allegedly done or have paid fines for. So when it comes to Wells, they're just another one. I do business with them. I don't care. I'll take their money. So I just got the Simplify business card or whatever it's called. It's an easy 60,000 transferable currency for spending money I'm going to spend anyway. And it has no fees. So I don't mind doing business with them. Banks are a necessary evil in this game. Rodrigo Mendez says if Citi will become a sole provider of American Airlines cards, seems like a good opportunity to get Barclays bonuses now. Yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to deal with Barclays, I always have issues trying to apply or trying to work with Barclays, so I probably won't. But yeah, right now, get the Barclays one transaction card, get you some extra. But hopefully that doesn't. But hopefully Citi doesn't institute some new rules about when they transfer you over from Barclays. That means you can't get one of their products. Chad Pennycuff says the Altitude Reserve is a point earning monster. 3 times on all mobile wallets. Here's the thing, Chad. For one, they're not points. It's cash back. And 2, I can't tell you how many times a month I use mobile wallet. And it's only for gas. Everybody tells me that everybody accepts it. But it turns out I don't spend most of my own money. So I don't use mobile wallet. And the other thing is I have 5% cashback cards that can do everything a Altitude Reserve can do. And I don't have to jump through hoops to only redeem it for the 4.5 in travel. I think a lot of people maybe just dismiss that as no big deal when for me it is a big deal. I want cash that I can deposit into a bank account. I don't necessarily want to redeem for purchases or anything. Probably not that big of a deal. Sorry, guys, itchy. David Aguilar, appreciate you and your channel, Luke. Currently working my way up the Hilton ladder, 2-player strategy. First trip on points to Cancun. Like it. All inclusive bar Caribe and two. I've never been there. I went to our last all inclusive to Cancun was at a Hyatt Dreams, but man, what a Cancun you can't for the price and the value. Cancun is really nice. All right, let me get to a couple more of these questions. This is a funny one. If you watch the channel, I freely tell you that I cancel at least half the bookings I make. Not for any other reason, but I just change my mind and let me see. I want to give credit to the question. This is Ian. Sorry. Ian, how many trips have I canceled this year? Well, Ian, I don't know, but let me tell you just recently how many I've canceled. For my future trips, my January trip started its life as a trip to Lima, Peru on LATAM Airlines business class. For reasons I have no idea, I changed that to a Japan Airlines Tokyo trip. I looked at the seats and I wasn't happy with the way that business class was set up, so I canceled that. And I booked a January trip to Madrid for the Thompson. I was going to stay at the Thompson Hyatt right there in Madrid. I looked at those seats, and somehow it was not lie flat business class. It was like a regular business class flight, so I canceled that. Now that January trip has morphed into a round trip to Marrakesh on Air France, and I'm going to hold fast. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. So I don't know. And I also canceled our summer trip with the family. We were going to go to Rome and then Istanbul. I don't know if you guys watched the news, but there was some type of weird encounter with the indigenous people and U.S. Marines where it appears that the Turkish people were wrestling with Marines and threw a bag over their head, and which I'm going to be real honest, man, I don't have a tinfoil hat, but I find it really hard to believe that 4 or 5 fat, out of shape Turkish dudes can hold a U.S. Marine still. Not when I was in the Navy, that nobody was holding U.S. Marines still when I in the 90s. So unless Marines have changed, and I super doubt that, I think that might have been fake. However, seeing that in Turkey, I can't in good conscience take my wife and son there. So I canceled that. So I did pay, and I did pay cancellation fees for a lot of those. So yeah, I hurt myself quite a bit. But so to answer your question, a bunch of trips. The country of Haiti is a disaster thanks to Citi. Now let's keep it real. Is Citi the reason why Haiti is a disaster, or has Haiti always been a disaster? I don't know if Citi could make it any worse. You know, when the French left, they took all the trees. So I don't think that was Citi. You know, I've known people that have been to Haiti in a military capacity and watched those people eat mud pies, real mud. So I don't know if that's all Citi's fault. Then again, I'm not a historian and I've never been to Haiti. All right, let's go. Let's check out. I think we have maybe one more question. One more question. And this is an interesting one, I think. This is something I had to really think about. I just looked at these today. And this is from Joe Barreto, our super duper friend, Joe Barreto from the Credit Card Connection. Hope all is well. Which is your most used no annual fee credit card and why? This was really hard for me to determine because I have a bunch of no annual fee credit cards. And I kind of found out that I want to give you 3 choices that I use the most for no annual fees. And then I'll tell you which one gets the actual most swipes. So the 3 I use the most that are no annual fees. The first one is the Redstone Federal Credit Union Visa. 5% cash back on dining, 5% cash back on gas. It's got a bunch of other great earning categories that I don't use, but that's a good one. That's a super good one. The other one is the AAA signature Visa that gets 5% cash back at grocery stores. And I'm not a super full time cash back guy, but I do sprinkle in cash back. And those are two monster cards with no annual fee that earns a lot of cash back. The third one is actually the one I feel like I use the most. And it's a card I don't even like. It's the Citi Custom Cash. And I just use it for gas. The reason is the biggest reason I think is because it's very easy for my wife to remember. Just use the custom cash for gas every time. It's always been easy for her. Cash back or thank you points. I do have a maybe some strategy changes with Citi pretty soon, so that might change. But at least in the last year, 2 years, it's been the Citi Custom Cash for gas. Jay Vasquez. Hey, Uncle Luke, pretending you've never been outside the US, which country abroad would be number one on your list to visit? Okay, so if I've never been anywhere, if I've never, okay, I got two answers and I can't really narrow them down. The first one is going to be if I've never been anywhere, maybe I want to go to the place where my DNA comes from, if that makes any sense. If you do your ancestry.com, you find out where kind of your people came from. I would go to Scotland. I have the highest percentage of my DNA is Scottish, and I've never been there, so I think that would be cool. But my other answer is, let me move this banner. My other answer is somewhere like Grand Cayman or Bahamas or somewhere in that Caribbean area, or maybe, Cancun, somewhere where it's physically a dream to be and it's super pleasurable to just be there. Somewhere with the crystal blue water, the turquoise water, the powder white sand. I think those things are super underrated, and a lot of times are affordable for us in the points and miles game. So those are my two answers. I think I'd be really happy with both of them. Sorry if I'm shaking this, guys. I haven't found a better way to set my computer up high enough to. Rodrigo said we need to start a second channel. Luke's cash back. A second channel would be a lot of work, man. Uh-oh, Supra finally caught an Uncle Luke live. Welcome, Supra. Welcome to the show and welcome to the community. We got a bunch of good dudes here. Speaking of all the good dudes, we got 89 people in here. Let's hit the like button. Hitting that like button will kind of spread this out in the YouTube algorithm atmosphere thing, and get some more good dudes in here. And here's the crazy part about this community is there's guys in here that are way smarter and way more talented and way more knowledgeable than me. And it's really fun to learn from those guys. There's a bunch of them. And it's also fun to learn from the guys that have completely different strategies and completely different perspectives on things. Just like Chad Pennycuff, the Disney cruises. He got 4.5% on a 2000 boat repair prom dress. Yeah. So he's really using the altitude reserve. And that really works for him. And I like to hear about it. I don't think it works the same for me, but it's a great card. It's a really great card. I happen to think it's underrated, and I really like going back and forth with people. I think it's overrated. I'm sorry. I really like going back and forth with people because if and I listen with an open mind. If somebody can convince me that the altitude reserve will work for me, I'm gonna go get it. Andrew Beach is in the house. Happy hour with Luke. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So one of the things, guys, I wanted to talk about tonight, and I do have to say that tonight is going to be, I think we're going to keep it to an hour, and I'll explain why. I the other good thing about these different creators is they do their business differently. I don't like clicking on lives that are 2.5 hours long because I want to know where the content is. I don't have 2.5 hours to watch a live. I want to get straight to the content and straight to the information. So I want to do mine. If I don't have a guest, mine are going to be like an hour long. So I want to kind of pack everything into the hour. So if you guys do click on it, which I appreciate, you will get mostly content jam packed in there. So Luke is going to Baha Mar for sure. Where's Baha Mar? What? I'm having having like a brain fart. I know I've heard of it, Baha Mar, but I just can't remember. When you get older, you start forgetting stuff. Oh boy, Filmo. Should Jamar Chase change his name to Jamar Amex? Help the Bengals grab a W. Listen, man, that's a touchy subject because I am not. A lot of you guys that are football fans, you're unconditional football fans. I'm not unconditional fan of anything. That team's got problems. That team is frustrating. So Jamar should just not worry about his name. He should just worry about getting on the field and catching some balls because he is really good and he can help these guys win some games. But this season's tough, guys. Okay, so my main topic for tonight, and I will answer questions that are in the comments. If you show up here with a question, I will do everything I can to get to it. But what I wanted to get to today, and I wanted to talk about, we got Rod from Points Blank Travel. What's up, Senior Chief? He is in the chat, and if you guys have not checked out Points Blank Travel's channel, check it out. Like I said, different perspective. Rod's a Texas guy, so I like watching his stuff. I like listening to him talk. Guys, we got 108 people in here. Good job. That's awesome. But let's talk about fourth quarter strategies. And I named it in that way because I'm not going to do a what's in my wallet for the fourth quarter. And obviously, I'll explain why. I always put together a what's in my wallet for everything I plan on using for that quarter. And just like everybody else, it doesn't really happen that way. Cesar Joel's in the house. Big time content creator, Cesar. Check out Cesar's channel and really pay attention to Cesar's channel because 2025's creator meetup is going to be in Puerto Rico. And Cesar is going to help facilitate that and get everything going for that. And that's going to be really fun. If you've never been to Puerto Rico, I suggest you really start thinking about getting into it. Anyway, fourth quarter strategies. I am not going to have a strict set of cards in my wallet for the fourth quarter. And the other reason is it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. We all spend differently in this fourth quarter. And personally, I generally have a budget for Christmas, and I generally have no problem blowing through that budget. And I'm also the guy with a week before Christmas, I'm going out there to buy more stuff because I found out that gift giving is a lot of fun during Christmas time. So I'm not going to have a strict, certain cards. This is what I wanted to do instead of having a what's in my wallet. I'm going to be really diligent and put the time in this quarter to write down and catalog all my Chase offers, all my Amex offers, all these really cool limited time deals that these credit card issuers put out in the fourth quarter. I think Chase just put something out and it was targeted and I was not targeted, but there's going to be all kinds of different things in the next 3 months. So my plan this year is to use the card that's appropriate for the actual transaction. I'm not going to get a new card in the fourth quarter. So I'm not going to be working on a sign-up bonus. I'm not even necessarily going to be worried about what I'm earning. And here's why. I don't have any travel scheduled for the rest of the year. I think my wife is doing a trip with Carlos, but they're going by themselves, mother-son thing. But I think I am staying my monkey ass home for 3 months. And it's because I need it. I need to work on my fitness. I need to work on this YouTube channel. I need to work on, my workflow, all that good stuff. So I am taking a 90-day break or 100-day break from traveling. So in that 100 days, I'm not necessarily worried about what I'm going to be earning. So what I want to do is I just want to earn the best for each transaction. Might sound like a pain in the butt, and it probably is. It's going against the grain of the simplicity sort of a trend. I don't want to do simplicity this quarter. I want to earn 5% cash back, or I want to earn four or five uh, transferable currencies. And I'm going completely away from hotel earnings or airline earnings unless it's in a portal. I don't mind earning Alaskan miles or American airline miles in a portal, but all my credit card stuff will be cash back or transferable currencies. Chad Pennycup says he paid the $150 for lifetime sun to card pointers. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what you. For okay, to track offers, the card pointers service. Yeah, that's probably a good deal, I have to say. Um, obviously I've had sponsors in the past, and I currently have sponsors, but I do think that the products they have available for us, the ones that credit card YouTubers are talking about, I think a lot of them serve a purpose, and and I don't know if any of them are bad deals. Glasses are all crooked. I think they're all good deals for certain people. And like Chad says, $150, he'll save that in the first year, and he should have it for years to come. John R says he loves the Amex offers. Yeah, I do too. I love them a lot, but man, I just have not. My problem with the Amex offers is if I have a good one, it's the wrong timing. Or if I have one I really want, I'm working on a sub. So I want to stop all that, and I want to really optimize for 90 days. Boxer says, Luke, talking about workflow. Oh, shoot, I missed it. Oh, what do you consider high spend for business? High spend? I can tell you, I don't spend high spend for business. I think if you were to have me, and we talked about labels earlier, I'm not interested in putting a label on it. But if you told me what's high spend for business, it's more than 10 grand a month. I think anything less than 10 grand a month is not high spend for business. But some people might say 100 grand a month. It depends on what your business is. If you need inventory, it's going to be a lot more than that. But I think, and honestly, in the grand scheme of things, 10 grand a month for business probably wouldn't be high spend. But for me, it would be fairly high spend. I do have two businesses. I have property management business for rental properties, and I have this YouTube channel, but neither one has high consistent spend. Oh, Mark Vance is in Columbia Falls, Montana. That just sounds like a cool place. Keith says until Amex hooks Luke with a 250K sub on a business platinum card, it's hard to say no. Here's the thing, Keith. I got the 150,000 business platinum sub, which I thought was great. The 250, I am not interested in making that minimum spend. Could I do it? I could probably do it, but I'm not interested with the potential of overspend, the potential stress to hurry up and do it. I wouldn't touch that 250K bonus, but it's a really good bonus. Brady Smith says, "What's happened, Uncle Luke? What's up, man?" Joshua NG, yeah, he says a lot of 4 and 5% cash back offers, holiday deals, and I want to take advantage of those. I'm getting to the point where I've learned how to accrue enough points to secure my family's travel for the year. And I've learned that I can use the rest of those resources to maybe plus up the cash back. And I go in phases. I'm also starting to get a little more into the investment side of things. I don't want to really get too far into that, but I'm always trying to learn. So there's some things in that I'm really learning. So things like I can pay my son Carlos to help with the YouTube channel. Um, Carlos won't pay any income taxes on that income, obviously, because he's only 8. But he can use that income to fund a retirement vehicle like a Roth IRA. So those are the things I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get to, and the cash back can probably help a little bit with that. Just to use that small amount of cash back to learn the processes. Oh, Boxer says he's thinking about the Ink Premier. Now, just so you know, you probably already know this, but the Ink Premier does earn ultimate rewards points, but they don't transfer to any they won't transfer to other cards. So it's essentially a cash back card. Thoughts on the Freedom Flex having a specific restaurant like McDonald's as a category? Man, I don't know. Like I don't mind it because I think McDonald's is a if you have kids, you probably stop at McDonald's, but at the same time, if I had a Freedom Flex, I would not be happy with the fourth quarter categories. Wouldn't be happy with them. Um, you obviously we always want Walmart and Amazon in the fourth quarter because we're buying Halloween candy, Thanksgiving stuff, decorations at Walmart, or stuff at Amazon for Christmas. But McDonald's, I don't know. That not happy with it, but I don't have that card. So what do we have here? Oh, Glenn Ardonia, my Filipino head of security, says, "Go Bengals." They're having a rough go at it, man. We'll be all right there. We'll finish 9-8 and miss the playoffs again with the highest paid quarterback in the history of football, formerly. Chad says Amex offers are usually high end merchants. Chases are usually Chase. Here's the thing about the Chase offers. If I'm going to go pick up some lunch, and let's say I'm doing some fast food or something like that, I can usually go to the Chase offers and find a sub shop, like you said, Arby's or something. I can usually find that, and it's usually just an extra 5% cash back. So why not? Yeah, those are the things I want to focus on in the fourth quarter to kind of tighten everything up and see if it's any fun. I think it might be fun to see how that goes for an entire quarter. Boxer says he owns a trucking company, so once my fuel program starts taking cards on payment, go through a ton of fuel. I believe that cashback's always welcome. Switch off the business with business gold for awards. Yeah, the business gold. If you had that, it'd be worth getting whatever that limit is. At 150,000 a year, you can get back. Um, as far as the 4X on gas, it would definitely might be worth having a couple business golds actually. Built just announced they're giving Hilton Gold to all Built members for the rest of 2024. That's great. I mean, it, I don't. In my opinion, the Built program might be having a kind of a lull in momentum. I don't know. We'll see. But sorry. Yeah, 150 for a year for 4 times. You might want to get 2 of those business gold cards, Boxer, if you're spending, a ton of money on, and that's a lot of MR points. That could fund a lot of big league travel. Another thing, guys, here's Chad's Money Minutes coming in hot from Ohio. Where in Ohio are you? Probably in Cleveland. Poor guy. What's up, Chad? Guys, I know you know Chad's Money Minutes. He hasn't made a video in a while, I don't think. So check his channel out and let's tell him, let's get some content out there, big guy. We miss you. He's probably super busy working, though. Guys, who has heard this new partnership with Southwest and Iceland Air? That sounds pretty cool. I don't know the details yet. I just saw kind of the headline. That's pretty big news. What about Wells Fargo picking up a new transfer partner, Virgin Atlantic? I think that's really good news. And I tell you why. That shows that they are probably going to be picking up the main players. These negotiations are going on a little longer than all of us expected. But Virgin Atlantic, not as excited about Virgin Atlantic as I used to be. They really devalued what I would think would be my favorite strategy with them, and that's the 50,000 Virgin Atlantic miles for Delta One, North America to Europe. They added a ton of taxes on that, so it's not a great deal, but Virgin still has some great redemptions. They still have their partnership with ANA. You can still do a lot of Delta economy and first class domestically here. I personally would not want to transfer my Amex points to Sky Miles, and I wouldn't want to use a card that earns Sky Miles. So if I'm flying Delta, I'm probably paying for that with flying Blue Miles or Virgin Miles. And I think if you use it like that, it's a great way to do it. You can also fly Air France flights with Virgin Miles and get pretty good deals. So I think Virgin is still a player. I definitely think they devalued their program quite a bit this year, but I do think they are. I still think they're still a hitter in this league. Chad says Zep Air working. Chad is a worker, guys. The dude is a machine. He's an income machine, always working. Guy's insatiable. Michael Pythium says if Wells picks literally any airline with a 1 to 2 rate, it's a yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. What I do think, though, tell me what your guys' thoughts are. We talked a little bit about Citi taking over all the American Airlines cards from Barclays, so Barclays would no longer be an option. Greg from the Frequent Miler, who I think we can say we can consider him an expert in this all-around field. Greg says that he gives it an 85% chance that American Airlines will be the exclusive partner and you can transfer Citi thank you points to American Airlines sometime in the future. John R. just hit us with a super chat. Thank you, John R. Super appreciate it, man. So what do you guys think? Let me ask you a question. If Citi becomes the exclusive transfer partner with American Airlines, how does that change the game in your eyes? I can tell you from me, I am, and I want to go over this in a video real soon, so I don't want to get too far into it, but I am considering consolidating my setups, and Citi is on the chopping block. I can convert my Premier to another custom cash for, a second 5% cashback card, but I'm thinking I don't need my Citi cards. However, if this happens and we can transfer Citi thank you points to American Airlines, I might have the complete opposite reaction and go all in on Citi. I mean, American Airline miles, in my opinion, are just tremendously valuable, and not for American Airlines flights, for Japan Airlines, any One World Alliance partner. There's so many things you can do with American. Like, I would value those probably higher than any other airline currency for how I travel. Cesar Joel really likes the Citi cards. Xavier says it would really, really be nice to get a Citi set up if they have that partner. That partner would be super, super valuable. I mean, that would be insane. Brady Smith says if Citi gets AA, it'll be 100% Chase and Citi. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they get American Airlines, then that may really force me to consolidate my setups and focus on maybe just two. Glenn Ardonia said he's sticking with the Venture X, baby. He is a Venture X monster. He loves the VX. Glenn, where are you going next? Where did you, Philippines, or what did you book something not too long ago? Glenn travels all over the daggone world all the time with the Venture X. Ricky's Travel Hacking says AA miles will get devalued if Citi transfers 101. I will push back on that a little bit because I don't think that's the case. American Airlines they've had their problems this year, but they've also came out a couple different times saying that is how they make money, so they won't be devalued. They won't. And also, if you look at the different inquiries from like the Department of Justice and things like that, they are really cracking down on the airline devaluations. I'm not worried or stressed that American Airlines will be devalued. And even if they are, which is part of the game, they're still going to have really good opportunities. Like for me, I can do North America to Europe on One World Alliance partners for 45,000 American Airlines miles and $5. You can devalue that a little bit, and I'm okay with it. 10%, value at 10%, devalue at 10%. I'm still good with it. Glenn's going to Europe. Are you allowed in Europe? Does your passport have? You have access to Europe with your? Yeah, Andrew says you can transfer Amex to Alaska via Hawaiian at the end of this month. Okay, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that because I do really value those Alaskan miles as well. I think that'll be a huge opportunity for us guys that like to travel. Rodrigo says he's going to need tips on getting Citi cards. Yeah, Cities are. Keith says, are these really devals? Amex has doubled some of their subs. Yeah, you're right. So in contrast to some of these programs being devalued, the subs are going up. So, but the minimum spend for the subs are also going up quite a bit. CJ Batista is going to Japan in 3 days. Yeah, you have fun, buddy. That's awesome. I've never been to Japan. I've had 3 trips and I've canceled all 3 of them. I really, really want to go. And I want to do it as a solo trip or maybe meet friends over there or something. Yuri's in the house. Big League Yuri. Andrew Mitchell's going to Maldives in the Q Suites next week. You, sir, win the flowers for the day. You could one up anybody with that. I personally, I've never even thought about going to the Maldives, but um, I think that's awesome, man. Switch these things around here. Hawaiian to Alaska transfer. D. Holly says live now. So try it out, man. Everybody's going to be flush with Alaskan miles. I did see Sebi do the first class Hawaiian Airlines to Hawaii, and that looks really interesting to me. I've always wanted to fly first class on Hawaiian to Hawaii to get the whole lay deal and kind of the atmosphere. I think that'd be fun. We'll see if that ever happens. I think I'm due for a Hawaiian trip maybe next year or pretty soon. Guys, we have 120 people in the live right now. Hit that like button for me, please. 120 is a lot for me. It's awesome. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. Michael Pythium says he's going straight for the Hawaiian card. Get it now, man. But I honestly do think, well, Kev Smith, let me answer this. Is the Marriott Brilliant card still haunting your thoughts with the bonus? It's not. I think it's a great card. And I think I would really get tons of value out of it. And I think it would work for me, but I don't think I'm getting it. Right now, I have to finish up some subs. And I want to take it easy on the subs for the next 90 days. And then we'll see next year. So I'm also thinking about going the Airbnb unique property route for a couple times next year. Maybe like a castle in Ireland or something kind of different or out of the way. D. Holly was a Navy man. And HM, my older brother was a corpsman for 10 or 11 years. Awesome. Thank you for your service, D. Holly. Joshua NG says, what are your advice on planning for international solo trips? Hoping to do a solo Japan trip by the end of 2026, but have never done one. Here's the thing, man. And I just listened to a podcast with someone talking about it, and I thought it was good advice. I would have what she said that she travels solo and she doesn't plan a very strict itinerary. And she also says she doesn't plan, maybe she stays by the airport the first day so she can rest and recuperate and get ready. And then I think she only plans the second day. And during that second day, she kind of gets everything in order. Solo travel, I think, is so cool. I'm not somebody who has to be around people all the time. And I'm also somebody who's not a lot of times outgoing and social. So when I go to Marrakesh in January, I plan on really putting myself in not uncomfortable, but not the most comfortable situations. I plan on, being social. I plan on doing all kinds of stuff. So I would, and don't put super high expectations on what you're going to do. Get there, have a list of stuff you want to do and check off as many boxes as you want. But if you're like me, I don't mind hanging out in the hotel, working on YouTube or drinking Moroccan tea and smoking a cigar or something. Just when you're by yourself, you can do what you want. So that's the fun part. And when you're in a points and miles game, you don't ever have to be, well, I have to do everything right now, this trip, because I'm never coming back. No, you can go back in 3 months. RV said, if I just bought a house and got a bunch of hard inquiries on my credit, that will fall off in 90 days. Would those count as part of the Chase 524 rule? No, RV. Chase's 524 rule are new revolving credit accounts. So they're credit card accounts, not mortgages, not inquiries. Fly with Rookie just hit us with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Fly with Rookie Says, I'm not sure if it was discussed or not, but how do you feel about the Alaskan Hawaiian merger? I mean, it's a great opportunity for us because it looks like the they're making them transfer 1-to-1 through each partner. So it looks like they're forcing them to not devalue it to match somebody else's program. I think it's great. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be for them long term, but I really value Alaskan miles, and any way we can get Alaskan miles is good for us. Now, what dates will I be in Morocco? I don't know. I'll have to look. I'm not a. I don't keep everything super organized like that. Um, it's in January, I think. I don't know. Let me see. I'll check here in a second. I'll check. Okay, bookings. Should be in the middle of January, right in the middle. So I'll be in Morocco in the middle of January. Why are you going to be there? I don't want to say my exact dates because I don't want somebody coming over to my house to I don't really have anything to steal, but beware of pickpocketers in Morocco. Yeah, I mean pickpocketers everywhere. Um, I kind of have a system where I keep everything secured, and yeah, I'm like preparing for a lot of stuff in Morocco. Uh, From what I understand, it's pretty chaotic. Yeah, like Yuri says, Chase doesn't care about the inquiries. Any recommendations for a warmer forest day trip from the Midwest in January? Yeah, man. I mean, South Florida. I mean, South Florida is great. I can tell you, where did we go last January? Um, Puerto Rico, uh, Grand Cayman. He said warm or warmish. Hey, how about New Orleans? New Orleans is kind of polarizing. Some people don't like it. I love it. I love it in January. So Andrew's going to be in Casablanca. Okay, and going to Dubai. Nice. Solo trip. Good job, man. I was going to do Casablanca, but I thought Marrakesh was the more touristy area, and turns out I'm a tourist. S Super 2008 just hit us with a big league $10 super chat. Uncle Luke, I appreciate what you're doing for us. I work in South Korea and travel to Japan once a month for work. That's awesome, dude. And have a ton of points. I've been watching you for point redemption strategies. Awesome, Supra. You're living the life, man. That's I've never been to that part of the world yet. I can't wait. But man, that's I thank you for watching, and I appreciate that you can get some value out of this. Do you have a second job, or no? I don't. YouTube is not my job. YouTube is what I do on the side. I have a real job, and I try to run another business, but it doesn't take much time. But I try to get my hands in everything. I have a real job, and YouTube is something that I don't ever plan on doing full time. I just plan on getting a little better incrementally and take it from there. Palm Springs in January is nice. Uh, Nola, I just thought of yesterday. Might dive into it further. Me and my wife is probably our favorite city in the United States. A lot of people don't like New Orleans, and I totally get it. I understand, but I love it. I think it's a really cool, interesting place with a completely different personality, um, and I like going there. I go there anytime. Food, big time. Okay, Ricardo has a thought. One conflict I have with staying at Waldorf using points is that in more remote locations, I'll end up spending a lot with the meals at the resort. 100%, man. And that's funny because not with a Waldorf, but with a Kimpton. The Kimpton in Grand Cayman is a great redemption, but there's also no access to affordable food. So you have to buy the food there. Uh, Bahamar, which the guy mentioned earlier, Bahamar in Bahamas is a great redemption with Hyatt, but it will cost you an arm and a leg to eat there. So Ricardo said, "Then you rock." Thank you, Ricardo. Yeah, you got to pick your poison, man. I mean, the more remote locations, I think, no matter where you stay, it's going to be like that. But you're in a remote location, so you're probably having a really cool time. Mark Vance is going to the PI in December for 3 months. Nice, man. I like your style. Is that a Speedmaster on your wrist? Sure is. This is a it's might be my favorite watch and the watch I wear the least. But yes, it is. Thank you for noticing. Love Omega for sure. Thank you, Ricardo, for the kind words and the compliments. Those are always appreciated. Michael Pythium says New Orleans is an acquired taste. Yeah, I can totally see why people don't like it. Um, if you ask me and my wife, it's the food and it's the people and it's the scene. But if you said, hey, it's dirty, it's hot, it's trashy, okay, you know, you're not wrong. Noah Yuri says Noah is similar to Memphis and Nashville. Yeah, you're right. And that's the thing. I don't like Nashville. Um, I don't like Nashville in 2024 because I think it's corporate and fake. I think what Nashville maybe looked like 15 years ago was pretty cool. The music epicenter that it had going on, but now it's a bachelorette party place. So I'm not a big fan of Nashville. Uh, Shy Jason. The best way for reconsideration with Citi just got denied for a Citi premiere. Despite listen, I don't know, man. I got denied twice for a Citi premiere, and when I called them, they didn't have any options at all. So I tried a third time and got it. The traveling hatters in Bangkok. That's so awesome. So awesome. I forgot I could do this. Oh. Uh, Okay, guys, we are at 111 people. Hit the like button, and it is 8:02. So I am going to sign off here very shortly. If you were here at the beginning, I wanted to do 1 hour because I wanted to kind of keep the pace quickly, and I wanted to squeeze as much information as I could in 1 hour because I know if you're like me, you don't want to click on a 2.5 hour video to sit through the soft spots. You want to get the information uh, crammed all in a 1 hour at least. Um, so, guys, with that, I am going to sign off here. I'm going to get ready to go to sleep. But if you have stopped in, I super appreciate you. And, guys, I'm also going, let me say this real quick. I'm also going to be doing more live streams with a members only twist to it. So, if you are a channel member, I only have one membership. It's $2.99 a month, and I have not been able to provide a ton of value for that membership lately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a different day, and I'm going to do regular lives just with the channel members. That way, they have direct access with me, and we can like have a coffee shop conversation regularly. So if you're interested in that, there's a membership link or a membership button just below the video there. No pressure, no big deal, but I do plan on giving those folks more value for that $2.99 a month. And I think we're going to start it really quick. We're probably going to go live every Thursday in October, and then I think maybe on a Tuesday, maybe we may do member lives. So I'll put out some more information on that on my community page. Yeah, Julius. The only thing I like about Nashville, the chicken sliders and a lounge and an air. Yes, listen. The is it no the chicken salad sliders at the Delta Airport. Very good. Nashville, whatever. You're right though. All right, guys. Appreciate you. I'm going to sign out for the night, and thank you all for coming by.